you guys, this is Mrs. Bolin here with your notes for your Unit 8 review. We've got a test coming up, so make sure that you guys understand everything on here. Go back to the old videos, watch some of the old assignments if there's anything that still isn't making sense. So we're going to go over the warm-up together first. So the question is, we've got a few different ways for solving a system of equations. The first one that we learned was graphing. Then we learned substitution, and then we learned elimination. So the question is, how do you know which one to use? Well, it's easy on the test if it tells you, but if it doesn't, you need to think about, is this an easy equation to graph? Okay, so you can use graphing to solve a system of equations if it's in slope-intercept form and the equations are easy to graph. Okay. When should substitution be used? Well, if one variable is by itself in at least one of the equations. Even if it's in two, that makes it even easier. Okay, when should elimination be used to solve a system of equations? When the equations are written in standard form. Okay, and so that just means like if it looks like this, something x plus something y equals a number. If they're in standard form, then it's usually a good idea to use elimination. Slope-intercept form, remember, looks like this, y equals mx plus b. All right, you guys, this is kind of a long assignment, 12 of these long problems, but we're gonna get through. Okay, question number 1, we're gonna solve by graphing. These ones are both in slope-intercept form, so these ones are super easy to graph. We're going to begin at 1, and we're gonna go down 1 over 1. Remember that you can also go up 1, backwards 1, and follow that pattern to get more points. I like to get lots of points on there because I am not that great at drawing straight lines. Okay, so now I'm gonna graph the other one in a different color so that it's easy to see. We're gonna begin at -2, and we're gonna go down by 1, over by 1, 2, 3, 4. And the way I got that was from the slope right here, down 1 over 4. And so, oops, I just hit my head on the camera. We're gonna connect those dots. All right, and that's really all we need. We just wanted to know where they cross. And remember that our answer is written as an ordered pair, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right and down by 3. Okay, question number 2, same process. I'm gonna start with blue. This is where we begin. I begin at -2. Move my camera down a little bit. Whoops, sorry you guys. All right, so we're gonna begin at -2. I'm gonna go up by 1, over by 2, because that's my slope, up 1 over 2. I'm gonna keep doing that pattern until I get enough points where I can draw an okay-ish line. All right, and then I'm gonna do the other one in a different color just so you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna begin at 3, 1, 2, 3. This one says to go up by 7 over 4. But if I go up by 7 over 4, I'm going to be like way off the graph. So I'm going to do the opposite of both of those. I'm going to go down by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But then I have to go backwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So thankfully they cross at a nice even point right there. But I need to say what that is. So we went backwards 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we went down by 1, 2, 3, 4. Both of those negative, -4, -4. Okay, remember when you guys are entering these into Canvas, if this is in Canvas, make sure that you don't put any spaces in there, okay? Question number 3. This one is in standard form, which means I have to graph it using intercepts. So if I plug a 0 for y, I get x equals -1. If I plug a 0 for x, I get y equals -1. So I'm going to go to x equals 1, y equals 1, and I'm going to plot those points there and continue the pattern. For this other one, x equals 2, that's a pretty easy one. I just find 2 on the x-axis, and I know it has to go through the axis at that one point. So the place where they cross down there would be over 2, and then the y value would be 1, 2, 3, -3. We went down by 3, so you need to have the negative on there. Okay, question number 4. These are both in standard form, so we're going to graph both of them using cover-up. And cover-up is really just plugging in 0 for the value, because we know where the x-intercept is, the value of y is 0. We're just finding a point. So I know that 4x equals -4. Divide by 4 on both sides, so x equals -1. I'm going to put that on. Then for y, well, if I cover it up, I just get y equals -4. So I'm going to plot that point. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go up by 4 over 1, just get another point on there. Okay, now I'm going to do the other one in blue. Sorry, that one should have had a green dot on it. So did that one. This one should have had a blue dot and a blue dot. Okay, so if I use the cover-up method on this one, I just get x equals 2 and y equals 2. And remember, mathematically, cover-up method is not a valid mathematical term, but we do know that plugging in 0 makes things cancel out. And so that's why we're able to cover up, because really we're just substituting in a 0. And then the point where they cross there is backwards by 2, so I need a -2, but then I went up by 4, so it gets a +4. All right, so that was graphing. That was that first unit that we did there, or the first little section we did in Unit 8 was solved by graphing. Now we're looking for the ordered pair, but we can solve by substitution. So remember, the first step is find the letter that's by itself, the variable that's already isolated on one half of the equation with nothing else. Then you're going to look for that same letter in the next equation. So where's the y? Boop, there it is. Okay, so now I'm going to take what y is equal to, and I'm going to plug it in instead of the y. Because when we have two different letters, we can't solve an equation. We can only solve an equation when we have one letter, okay? So I'm going to plug it in. So I have 4x plus 4. Instead of the y, I'm going to write this up here, 3x plus 5. And then I'm going to copy the rest of the equation, equals 20. Well, now remember, this is kind of a long thing. I need to distribute, blah, blah, blah. So the 4 gets multiplied. So I have 4x plus 12x plus 20 equals 20. I'm going to simplify. So I'm going to combine like terms. So 16x plus 20 equals 20 minus the 20 on both sides. Those ones cancel. Those ones cancel. This side I have 16x equals, well, when it cancels and there's nothing else left, I put a 0 there to save the place. 0 is still a number, divide by 16, so x is equal to 0. Now I need to plug it back in up here for y. So I'm going to write y equals 3, and then instead of x, I know x is equal to 0 plus 5. So then we have y equals 0 plus 5, which is just 5. So remember, my ordered pair starts with the x, ends with the y. All right, question number 6, another substitution problem. So I want you guys to try this, pause the video, and then go back and check your answers, okay? So here's the letter that's by itself, is a y. So now I'm going to find it in the other equation. There it is. And then I say, well, here's what y is equal to. So that's what's going to go get plugged in right there, is this whole thing. So I'm going to copy the equation, -3x plus 2. Instead of the y, I'm going to write -2x minus 14, and then equals 14 from over here. Okay. This is kind of a long equation, but we're going to start with distribution. So I have -3x minus 4x minus 28 equals 14, okay? Then I'm going to put the like terms together. So I have -7x minus 28 equals 14. I'm going to add the 28 to both sides. So I have -7x equals 42. Okay, so then I'm going to divide by -7 on both sides. So x is equal to -6. I'm not done yet. Remember, on these ones, we have to find x and y, but I'm going to take this value and plug it in. I'm going to start with the equation that already has y by itself. So I'm going to write y equals -2. I know what x is now. X is -6. So now I can say, well, y equals 12, take away 14. So y is equal to -2. So my answer then is -6, -2. Because remember, I always put it in alphabetical order, the x value, then the y value. Okay, so question number 7, we've got 2 more of these substitution problems. Thanks for hanging in there, you guys. I know this is a lot of work. Okay, so here's x, it's by itself. Then I have to find the x in the other equation. Sometimes it's x, sometimes it's y, but you're always looking for the letter that's all by itself, okay? So now I'm going to use this equation down here. I'm going to take what x is equal to, and I'm going to plug it in for x. Okay, I'm going to use a different color just because that one kind of ran into that one. So I'm going to write -4y plus 2. And then instead of writing the x, we're going to write -6y minus 7, and then equals 18. We're going to distribute here. So we have -4y minus 12y minus 14 equals 18. We're going to put the y's together. So -14y minus 14 equals 18. We're going to add the 14 on both sides. So then now we have -14y is equal to, did I do that right? -12 and -4. Oh, that's why. I'm like, something is wrong. Sorry, that was a 16. See, just showing you guys I cannot talk and write at the same time, but I knew something was wrong because over here we've got 32, and that was not going to give me a nice answer. So divide by -16 on both sides. So y equals -2. In class, you guys would be calling me out on that, okay? If you see that I'm adding things up wrong, you need to type into the chat, turn on your mic, say, Mrs. Bullen, what are you doing? Since I'm talking to myself right now, I don't have anybody to help me out like that. Okay, so now we're going to plug it in. X is already by itself in this one, so x equals -6. Instead of y is equal to -2 minus 7. So I have x equals 12, take away 7, so x is equal to 5. My ordered pair looks like this, the x value and then the y value. Okay, next problem, last one of these, and then we get to go to elimination and just start crossing stuff out. Those ones are fun. Okay, so look, we've got x by itself. Here's the x, I'm going to plug that in. So I've got -y minus 3, and instead of x, I'm going to write -6y plus 13, and then equals -5. I'm going to distribute. So I've got -y plus 18y, that's right, and then minus 39 equals -5. I'm going to put the y's together. So 17y minus 39 equals -5. I'm going to add 39 to both sides. So I get 17y is equal to 34. Pull this up here. 17y equals 34. Divide by the 17 on both sides. So we get y is equal to 2. Then we plug it back in for the x. So we have x is equal to -6 times 2 plus 13. So we get x equals -12 plus 13, and x equals 1. Seems like an awful lot of work, you guys, to get an answer that looks like this. 1, 2, right? Okay, but I'm glad it worked out to be nice, easy numbers. Now we're going to switch gears to elimination. And so remember, with elimination, I know that this half of the equation is equal to that half of the equation. They may look different, but they have the same value. This side is equal to -30. Those things are equal to -30. So I can add both of those to both sides of that other equation, and it will stay balanced because even though they look different, they're equal in value. Okay, good lesson in life. All right, so those ones cancel out because we have a plus y and a minus y. So now I'm going to add those together. I get -11x, and on this side I get -33. Remember, we're just adding them up. Divide by -11 on both sides. And so we get x is equal to +3. Remember, this one's called elimination because, boop, it just gets eliminated. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to plug the 3 in. You can plug it into either equation. I'm going to go in this bottom one because y is already positive. One less step. So I'm going to take that up here now. and wherever there's an x, I'm going to put a 3. So -7, I just got to an x, so that's where the 3 is going to go. Then I'm going to copy the rest of it. Plus y equals -30. I get -21 plus y equals -30. I'm going to add the 21 on both sides, so y is equal to -9. So my answer then is 3, -9. Okay, question number 10. We're almost there, you guys. Thanks for hanging in there. All right, this is another fun elimination one where, boop, those get eliminated. Plus x and minus x go away. Oh, we've got some weird stuff going on. So the y and the 10 cannot cancel each other out, right? Because this is a y, this is a number. So I'm just going to write this as y minus 10. I can't put those together, okay? So I'm just going to leave them separate. And then -9 and +9, that makes a 0, right? Those ones cancel. So I can go plus 10 on both sides. So y is equal to 10. So now if I want to find what x is, I'm just going to use this bottom equation right here. And we could have done that first if we wanted to. X minus 10 equals 9, because this only had one letter in it, right? So I could just go plus 10 on both sides. And so x is equal to 19. And actually, sorry, I shouldn't have drawn a box. I like putting a box around those answers. Okay, our answer though is the ordered pair 19, 10. Okay, that's the real answer. I get a little happy when I find like, oh, here's x, here's y. But remember, not our final answer. Okay, last 2 questions, you guys. Thanks for hanging in there and persevering till the end. Okay, this one, if I add them up, it's not going to cancel, right? 3 and 7 doesn't cancel, 4 and 8 doesn't cancel. But if I times the top by 2, then that would make a +8, which would cancel. Okay, and I'm going to write this in a different color so it doesn't blend in with the problem above. So we have 6x plus 8y equals 56. This bottom one's going to stay the same. 7x minus 8y equals -4. And then those ones eliminate. Super fun. So now we just have 6x and 7x, which makes 13x. This makes 52. When I divide by 13, it goes in evenly 4 times. So then I'm just going to take that answer, plug it into either equation. I'm going to choose the top one just because those are all positive. I'm going to plug it on in there. So 3 times x, which I know now is 4, and then plus 4y equals 28. This is 12. I'm going to subtract the 12 on both sides. So 4y is equal to 16. And then divide by 4 on both sides. So y is equal to 4. Oh, I was about to draw a box. I caught myself. Okay, remember our answer is the ordered pair, 4, 4. Okay, last one. Almost there. Okay, if I multiply this bottom equation by 3, then the y's will both be 6, but opposite signs, so they'll cancel. Remember, sometimes you need to multiply both equations. Today we didn't have one of those, so that was kind of nice. Okay, top equation stays the same. So 4x minus 6y equals -14. Bottom equation becomes -15x plus 6y equals 3 because I'm distributing that 3 to everything. You could also think of it as we're putting a 3 on both sides. Okay. Over here, the 6y's are eliminated, right? The y's are eliminated because they cancel. Plus 6y and minus 6y are inverse operations. So then I have 4x take away 15x, which leaves me with -11x. And then I get over here, -14 plus 3 is also -11. Divide by the -11 on both sides, so x equals 1. And then we're going to plug that back in. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to go for this bottom one, I think. Switch to a different color. So I have -5. I know x is 1 plus 2y equals 1. So -5 plus 2y equals 1. I'm going to add the 5 on both sides. So 2y is equal to 6. When I divide by the 2, I get y equals 3. My answer then would be 1, 3. All right, you guys, that's it for this week. Study for your test and make sure you look through your notes and everything. And hopefully you guys are all ready to show me how much you've learned. All right, have a great day. Bye.